Hi, it's Sarah. Um, I just woke up a little bit ago. I got home from No Lose, the fat conference thing, at 2 a.m. and slept a good long time. And I'm having a hard time processing what happened this weekend. And I've been thinking about it a lot. Had a 12-hour car ride home to discuss and think about it with my best friend, but I still can't wrap my head around it. And I thought I could easily write a nice fluffy blog post or three, put up some cute pictures, and really make it appear as though things were okay or things were great. I could do that. I'm a writer. I could craft that. But that's not real and that's not true. And if you read this blog, you know that the truth is where I'm at, and authenticity is where I live. And you know that I would never intentionally lie or, misrepresent something. My voice is not good. I pretty much openly cried, wept, sobbed, and bawled all 3 days of the conference. Sometimes I was inconsolable. Sometimes I couldn't breathe. I had a panic attack. It was really hard and really unexpected. I went to No Lose to be with my community and to reconnect with my fellow activists. I had no idea what would happen. And it's not just, of course, I consider myself involved in the community, and I do my best to educate myself and to stay up on all the topics. And last year, No Lose was a dream. It was amazing and fantastic and so full of love and connection and positivity. And I just felt like this was the complete opposite. I always believed No Lose was about equality and ending oppression and the poor treatment of fat people. But what I saw this weekend was not that. I did not see equality. I saw fat on fat hate. I saw smaller fats vocally hating and even physically hating on larger fats, myself included. And I'm not what some would consider supersized fat, but I was physically pushed out of the way by a smaller fat before the talent show, and it was really hard. I felt invisible, and I felt like I didn't matter. And I just wanted to participate and have fun, and I did everything I could every step of the way, no matter how hard it got, to have fun and to try to put a positive spin on everything. And it didn't matter. I felt like I didn't matter no matter what I did or said. And maybe in that space I don't matter, and that's fine. I was very visible throughout the whole conference. I was in the fashion show, the talent show. I volunteered to, I checked wristbands at brunch, greet people and stuff. And I had a little buddy in the little buddy program for first timers. And I read a piece in the Sunday Salon about my journey through dance and my struggle with that in a fat body. And my words were misrepresented, and my voice was taken away. And then my words again were misrepresented and twisted. And I tell myself, I'm a writer. I should expect that at some point, but not in this community. This is an activist community, and we all are coming from places of wanting to make things better in the world, but I did not feel that at all for one moment in that conference, and it broke my fucking heart. I identify as a working class, poor, fat. And maybe because I was presenting as high femme, I did not appear that way, but fuck that. I should be able to present myself as adornment or fashion I want and still be taken and treated as an equal human being. But I wasn't. I was made to feel invisible. I was ignored and blatantly avoided. And believe me, I had tons of anxiety at my first No Lose last year. Tons. But I felt connected to that community. They made me feel safe and welcome and wanted. And this year I felt like I was in the way and not wanted and that I didn't belong. And quite frankly, I felt bullied at times. And I never thought I would say that about a fat, positive space. I'm still trying to process this. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I was accused of something, but there was no explanation given. And I'm not yet sure if I can talk about it. But I also know that asking for clarification or explanation would be offensive. And I get that, and I can't argue that, but I would never. But I definitely felt like I didn't feel welcome. I don't know how else to say it. So I will write some posts and post some cute pictures, and I will give you that side of it. But I wanted to say this now while it's still raw and fresh, and you can tell my voice is totally fucked. And you guys know me, and I trust you, and I love you. And sometimes I feel like people don't understand me because of how I talk. But this is who I am. I swear, and I use slang, and sometimes I sound like a valley girl. But I've always been the kid on the wrong side of the tracks. With the ripped clothes and the fucking thrifted shit, and trying always to struggle to make things work, to make ends meet, to survive. But to be made feel like... I can't finish that thought. You can tell this has been the hardest shit ever. I went to No Lose as a vacation. And it was in one of my favorite cities in the world, Portland, Oregon. And part of me is super glad that I didn't leave the hotel during the conference because I would not want this trauma. And for me, it does feel like trauma, I have to tell you. I would never want this trauma connected to the city of Portland and my love and memories there, because this was the hardest thing I've dealt with in a long time. And y'all know I've been going through a hard fucking time. And it wasn't that everyone there was horrible. I do think it was just select few that chose to treat people poorly. And how I was treated by some people is absolutely unacceptable, but I felt that my voice had been taken away. Or I just couldn't find it in me to speak up for myself. And I thank the stars above that my best friend was with me every night. And she could not understand why I would come back to our room crying every fucking night. Sometimes multiple times. She's like, I thought you came here for fun and connection and positivity and education. And I was like, I did. That is why I came. I wanted the hard talks. I wanted the open dialogue and the feedback and the good conversation and learning and working together to improve things as a community. But that's not what happened at all. And I don't know why that is. And I know my experience isn't unique to this particular year's No Lose, but I also know that a lot of people did not experience that. I've been sneaking, sort of looking on Facebook every now and then at the Fatlandia page and seeing just glowing love and connection, and it's not that I didn't have that at all. I did, but it didn't help the pain, you know. It was so bad. Sunday night after the closing, I was offered by people I now consider very good friends, some of my local fatties, pretty much an open pharmacy to calm me down. I was in poor shape, I have to say. And there was a lot of self-realization involved in this. I did not know that I was unconsciously hiding an injury until I realized that I was openly limping at the conference and didn't really feel that that was a bad thing. But I didn't know I was hiding my injury, and I think I have worsened it by doing that. Which just goes to show that I am more comfortable in my community with my fats, and I never thought I would be made to feel so horrible by people who promote such love and positivity, and I think that's the hardest part for me to wrap my head around, because I didn't know that would happen, and I don't know why it happened. And it wasn't just me. Like I said, I saw a lot of messed up stuff happen, and it just seemed like everyone was made to feel like they had to accept that and get over themselves. But these were people who were not full of themselves at all, quite the opposite. But I'm very grateful for some of the people I did get to see and talk to and lean on and hang out with, because without them, I would have hid in my hotel room for the rest of our stay. And I might just stay in my bedroom and hide for the rest of the week, because I need to heal. And this whole thing has questioned why I'm an activist and if I should even keep going. What the fuck is the point if other people are choosing to see me as this horrible thing just by sharing my own lived experience and then twisting that and misrepresenting that? So I'm working through it. I'm gonna dig deep and try to heal, so I may not be online a lot. I still have to look for a fucking job, and I don't know how I'm supposed to be me and be okay with me again after this, but I will find a way. I just might need to hide under the covers for a while. So if you see some generic-y posts or some fluffy posts, that's why. And I love you, and thank you for watching this, and I hope you're not crying too, but if you are, I'm sorry, and thank you for feeling all my feels. I wish I could articulate things better, and I wish I could speak as well as other people do sometimes. But I did not have access to a higher education. I maybe had access to a high school education, but I dropped out because it never felt accessible to me. And when I told my counselor, whom I had never met, that I wanted to drop out, she said bye. There was no support. There was no offer of listening or help or resources. And that's really a lot how this felt. I mean, this really... Anyway, thank you so much. And I hope that I can find my voice again, and that someone will be there to listen. I think that's something we all deserve. And that is why I fight for equality. And that is the activist that I am. It will always be equality, not just for fat bodies, but for everyone. Okay, thank you.